But if you haven't had a chance to read Ephesians 6, do it this week. But in verse 16, it's where it mentions the shield of faith I've been talking about. And it says above all, according to, putting on the armor of God, which all the parts are important. This one is above all. Taking the shield of faith, and this is King James, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. All of them. Every fiery dart, and you quench them, which means they're on fire, they're coming at you, but you can, with the shield activated, it quenches them, and then you grab them. And you know why you grab them? Because according to 2 Corinthians 10 verse 5, we are to be grabbing them, taking them into captivity. And what's for the reason? What's the reason why? Well, in 2 Corinthians 10 verse 5, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought. Did you get that? Every thought, bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. Okay, so you got that fiery thought, you got the shield, right? So it's trying to penetrate into you, right? Your thoughts, right? But you got the shield of faith, it quenches it, you grab it, you look at it, you say, this is contrary to what God says who I am, and what God says, what he says in his word. And then you say, you know what you need to do? You need to submit to the master. Go. Get out, obey the master, leave me alone. And if you have stuff in the past that have been haunting you, let me tell you, get rid of it. Grab every thought, give it to the master, let it, tell the thought to submit. Isn't that something? You got a fiery dot, and you're gonna let this dart not penetrate, but say to that dart, submit to the master. And I happen to be in Jeremiah, reading Jeremiah this month, so I was in chapter 18 and verse 12. This is how bad it could get. This is the reason why we don't want to let those darts penetrate. These are people who have obviously let every fiery dart in, and they're saying this: there is no hope. We will walk after our own devices. And right away I start thinking of people with their cell phones walking after. There's my cell phone, I'm walking after it. Anyway, that's me. But it gets worse. It's not just what they're doing with themselves, but as it continues to say, we will everyone to do, that's their will, everyone to do the imagination of his evil heart. We don't want to get there, guys. We do not want to get there. So we got to activate the shield of faith. And how do we do it? Psalm 118. Verse 24, we know very well. This is the day which the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Do you know that day is referring to the day of your salvation and my salvation? And read it. If you haven't seen that, read 118, Psalm 118. And if you already know that, read it again, refresh and rejoice with me. But I'm gonna show you in Ephesians 6, this next part of the armor, which is in 17, it says, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Why are those things important? Well, let me tell you, this is the day the Lord has made, this day of salvation. Who did God use to give us this passage? David, well, he's a musician, he's artsy, he's poetic. All that is secondary to, he's a man of God, and God is using him, and he's using music. Now this is very, very intentional. He's using music because God does everything. It's a purposeful thing that God does. Very intentional. What do you do with the lyrics of music? What do? You got to speak them. And that's how you activate the shield of faith. We're going to talk more about that next week, but I want you to dwell in that for a little bit and think about that. If you're not speaking the word of faith, then it's not being activated. You got to speak the word of God, and you got to speak it into the lies, but we got to do it in the way that it glorifies the Lord. Okay? Again, we don't go after flesh and blood. We don't go after people. But we know that when it's something spiritual and there's something happening that is trying to get us to identify ourselves with something that's contrary to the word of God, that what we need to do is we need to speak truth into it so that it will extinguish that fiery dart, okay? So anyway, thank you for allowing me to share. And I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Until next week, God bless.